Hello students, myself Professor Ankur. I welcome all of you to the GATE sum session of analog circuits. Today we are going to solve sums of BJT and the topic is BJT sum session 2. In the earlier session we have solved few sums of GATE level in the session 1. Now we are going to solve few more sums and this session is BJT sum session 2. Let's start with the session. So you are going for the first question. This question is from the GATE 2020 EC paper. The question has come for 2 marks. Let's have a look at the question. The question says, for the BJT in the amplifier shown, the VB value is 0.7 volt, KT by Q is 26 millivolt. Assume that BJT output resistance RO is very high and base current is negligible. The capacitors are also assumed to be short circuited at signal frequency. The input VI is direct coupled. The low frequency voltage gain VO by VI of the amplifier is. So actually if you observe the question carefully, they are asking us to calculate the low frequency voltage gain VO by VI. But they have given an indirect hint regarding the impact of capacitor. The capacitors are assumed to be short circuited at the signal frequency. So as per the data, we are supposed to calculate the low frequency voltage gain VO by VI of the amplifier. So here the capacitors are also given as short circuited for the signal frequency. Whenever we talk about the frequency response, we go for 3 types of analysis: mid frequency analysis, low frequency analysis, and high frequency analysis. So whenever we talk about the low frequency analysis, we talk about presence of the coupling and the bypass capacitor. But as per the data, it is mentioned clearly that the coupling capacitors will work like a short circuit, as well as the bypass capacitor will also work like a short circuit. And we are going to calculate the voltage gain at low frequency. So we are not going for any frequency calculation or any capacitor or resistor calculation. We are going for the gain calculation at low frequency. So how do we go for that gain calculation at that low frequency? So for that, we need to have a look at the circuitry. If you look at the circuitry carefully, you can see a transistor, collector, base, emitter. The input voltage source VI is directly connected to the base terminal. At the emitter resistance, we are having 20 kilo ohm and a bypass capacitor of 100 microfarad. So at the emitter, we are having 2 elements, RE and C. At the collector, we are having resistance RC of 10 kilo ohm, followed by a coupling capacitor C1 of 1 microfarad, and then the load of 10 kilo ohm. So overall, if you see the question carefully, the circuitry is biased for a dual voltage of plus 10 volt and minus 10 volt. And we are supposed to find the voltage gain at the low frequency with a small assumption that the capacitors will work like short circuit. So first thing is, whenever we will go for the gain calculation, we use model. And for the model, we require the value of model parameters. So for that, we need to first get the value of collector current or the emitter current. So we are going for the gain calculation. The gain calculation will come as GM into RC parallel RL. This is the magnitude of the gain, because we are taking now AV mid is equal to AV low, as the capacitors are going to work like short circuit. So for that, we need to get the value of GM. As I was discussing, for any gain calculation, we need to go for the AC analysis. And during the AC analysis, we are representing a device by its model. And for the model, we require the model parameter. So we require the value of GM. So that is going to be equal to 1 by RE. So first step is we need to get the value of RE. So for getting the value of small RE, we need to go for a small calculation. The RE can be defined as VT by IEQ. So for getting the value of IEQ, we need to go for KVL to input loop. So that will be a part of the DC circuit, where you will have impact of the VE battery, the VBE base emitter potential, and a resistance of 20 kilo ohm. So when I go for that value of IEQ, you will get 10 minus 0.7 divided by 20K. So since it is 20K, the answer will directly come in milliampere. So the value is 0.465 milliampere. So once you get the value of IE, you will dump it in the value of RE. The value of VT is given which is Kt by Q, as 26 millivolt. Solving that, you will get the value of small re, and you take an inverse of that, you will get the value of Gm. You can directly calculate the value of Gm as IEQ by Vt also. Then we can put the value of Rc and RL in the equation. So Rc and RL, both of them are actually 10K. So 10K parallel 10K will give me 5 kilo. The value of Gm, we have got it with the help of small re. Small re was calculated using the value of IEQ. Substituting the value, you will get AV as minus of 89.42. So if you observe carefully, the AV mid formula which mentions Gm of Rc parallel RL, that is the magnitude gain. The actual gain is going to be minus of Gm Rc parallel RL. So when I see the minus sign, it implies that common emitter is an inverting amplifier. So the final answer is minus 89.42. That is our option A. Next question is from the GATE 2018 ECE paper. This question has come for 2 marks. Let's have a look at the question. The question is a mixed logic question where the transistor and an op-amp is being considered. So the question is, in the given circuitry, assume that the op-amp is ideal and the transistor has a beta of 20. The current IO in microampere flowing through the load ZL is. So for this, we need to have a small understanding regarding the op-amp. Op-amp is having 2 terminals of input, a plus terminal notified as V plus and a minus terminal notified as V minus. These 2 terminals are the input terminals of the op-amp. It has a single output terminal, that is your VO terminal. Now, when I go for a logic of op-amp which is under ideal behavior, the potential of the plus terminal is as good as the potential of the minus terminal. This is all because of the high input resistance of the op-amp, which takes 0 current inside. So when the current flowing through the op-amp inside is 0, it is as good as the pins are actually equipotential. So from this we get a small hint that the V plus pin is equal to the V minus pin of the op-amp. Hence the value of V minus pin will be 2 volt, which is as good as the collector voltage. So I got the value of collector voltage. I know the top battery voltage as 5 volt. I know the resistance in between as 10.5K. I can just take, or I can say calculate the value of current. The current can be calculated as potential difference 5 minus 2 divided by 10.5K. Solving this, I'll get 0.286 milliampere. So this is the value of IC. I am given the value of beta also. So for that, I'll get the value of alpha as beta upon 1 plus beta, that is going to be 20 by 21. Then I will take IE is equal to IC by alpha. Solving it, you can get the value of IE as 0.3 milliampere. So if the value of IE is 0.3 milliampere, your IE is same as your IO. And that's the reason IO was 0.3 milliampere. Next question. This is from GATE 2017 EC paper. This question has come for 1 mark. Let's have a look at the question. So this question is on Miller effect. Let's read the question. The Miller effect in the context of a common emitter amplifier explains option A, an increase in the low frequency cutoff frequency, an increase in the high frequency cutoff frequency, a decrease in the low frequency cutoff frequency. Option D, a decrease in the high frequency cutoff frequency. So this question is regarding the impact of Miller capacitor on calculation of the cutoff frequency. For our frequency response, we are having 2 cutoffs, a lower cutoff and a higher cutoff. We have seen the impact that during the concept of frequency response, the Miller effect was used to solve the impact of high frequencies. So there is a small hint from that we are going to understand something related to the high frequency. So let's check what is going to happen. So here the Miller effect was used for neutralizing an impact of a capacitor C. So the input capacitor will be C into AV plus 1 and the output capacitance will become C into AV plus 1 by AV. So what has happened with the help of Miller? There is an amplifier with the gain and there is a capacitor working as a feedback element between the input and the output point. So when I try to Millerize the capacitor for the input side and the output side, I will get the Miller capacitor of the input and Miller capacitor of the output. Now what's the final impact? Let's check. The feedback capacitor at high frequency will be split into CMI and CMO. Hence, the resultant capacitor, when I talk about the frequency cutoff, it will be 1 by 2 pi RC. You will get a contribution. As the value of C will increase, the FH will decrease. So overall, what do you observe? The bandwidth will decrease. So this is the basic understanding, that whenever we talk about rise in the capacitor value, the frequency value will decrease, and hence the bandwidth will decrease. So what has happened due to this? What is the overall impact of this? When we talk about the higher cutoff frequency, you will definitely find that due to the impact of capacitance, the frequency value will decrease.